WDWL. That ain't good. Well, that's interesting. I guess we'll do it that way. Looks kind of cool. Dual screens. I like it. All right, is the tablet fired up? Yep, tablet's fired up. And well, let's get some listening on here. And the Ron Bowl is first in the door with birthday greetings. Thank you, buddy. I've got dual screens. There's two of me I'm looking at. I never knew I could do that. It must be a new feature. It's odd. I like it though. Matter of fact, I like it even better because now the chat in screen number 1 is directly in front of me. I don't have to keep looking to the side. This microphone is sounding a little odd. After I banged it last night. That thing must have been hanging by one thread. I never bothered to pay attention to the... It's on a swivel. And I tightened the swivel, but I never bothered to look where the microphone arm mounts to the swivel. And I tapped that microphone and poof, down it went, and then it went to mute. Oh, Jesus. That was a perfect Halloween screw up. So how you feeling there, buddy? How's the feetsies? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you got to get out of there. You know, it's sad when you have people that just don't give a fuck, you know? They like, okay, somebody's downstairs below us. Screw him, you know. Are they younger? Are they younger generation? Because I've kind of discovered the younger generation, they have no respect. It's a me, 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 and screw you world. My son's no different. Yeah, well, yeah. He's, he's 40. And a couple weeks ago, 2 in the morning, he's banging fucking rap music. So I called him and I said, hey, when you have your own goddamn place, you can do that shit. You're right over my fucking head. Turn that shit down. And he plays that disgusting rap music. The only white kid I know that is into that shit. And I mean the filthy shit, Ron. Of course, he works with a goddamn rap music promoter every now and then. Where Kathy is. I don't know how the hell she got my address from 8 years ago. And the people weren't home at all today, so I don't know if the package got delivered or if it's going to get returned. But how the hell she got my address from the house up the street that I haven't lived in 7, 8 years? And it's sad because it's a different zip code. Had it been the same zip code, my postal carrier would have gotten the package and went, oh, it don't belong there, it belongs over here. And I don't know what time that carrier delivers because I went up the street at 9, I went up the street at 10, I went up the street at 11. The carrier used to deliver, 9 o'clock on the dot. She must have Googled it. Evidently, my old address might be in Google. But when she told me 4003, I was like, oh no. So hopefully it gets returned to her. And then she can send it to the right address. Oh. I got some neat stuff today. It's all car-oriented stuff. I was telling my friends that I want, mainly because I'm so OCD, I want the trunk thoroughly organized. All the tools neat and like one side, I have these two real nice chrome baskets. On one side of the trunk, I've got coolant and a quart of oil and lubricating items and some spare bulbs, and then on the other side is for tools. Matter of fact, I bought a brand new set of jumper cables, real heavy duty ones, no cheap crap. And they came in a real nice case. Matter of fact, I'll bring them in tomorrow because I haven't put them in the car yet. Because you never know when you're going to need a jump, or if you come across somebody that needs a jump. But these are real nice heavy duty cables. I went all out on these. I spent more than I wanted to, but over the years I've had those crappy ones that you buy at Homeless Depot. These you could jump a semi with. They are heavy duty. And then I want to install my power inverter. I've got a real expensive that was given to me, DC to AC, where basically this power inverter I could run a refrigerator off of it. So I want to get that neatly installed. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to mount them scanners. There is just no room in I could probably, well, I could mount them like underneath the glove box door, but they're not going to be that easy to reach. So a couple of more switches, I guess, because I got CB and I got luckily the CB is a little one, and then the siren box is small and thin, so that mounted really nice. Since I've got the time, nothing's getting hurried along. Everything is going to be very neat installation. Gee, where's Kathy? She's really running late tonight. Maybe she got tied up with her daughter. We'll give her a few more minutes. Because I want to show off my birthday presents. I mean, we're not talking expensive stuff, but the organization, that's basically what I kind of preach to people. I want to really organize. When you open the trunk, it'll be all nice and neat. My floor mats got here today. Oh, they match my seat covers perfect. I think they're probably all the same company. It was a different seller. So now the front seat covers and the 4 floor mats match perfect. Now all I have to do is try to find a seat cover for the back seat. Nobody makes a 60/40. And that's the way that seat is split. You can either pull down the small side, or you can pull down the big side, or you can pull them both down like I have them right now. The only seat cover that they had was a full. Well, I mean, all right, so I pull two latches and pull both sides down, but that's not the way I want it. Because I really want a back seat cover to match the two fronts. Kathy, where are you? I went up to Mark's again today. I got two more dozen eggs and 2 more pounds of butter because it was 2 dozen extra large for $3 and 2 pounds of butter for 5. So I got more egg because I'm gonna boil a dozen and I'm gonna make a dozen pickled eggs. Wow, this is odd. Kathy's never this late. Come on, Kathy, I want to show off my birthday presents. Sound like a little kid. And you know, it was a nice day, Ron. I got several phone calls from from my friends, and half of them were from high school people I graduated with. Which surprised me that, they all remembered my birthday because they don't all watch the show. It was nice looking down at the caller ID going, oh, Massachusetts. Oh, Rhode Island. Oh, Florida. Kathy, where are you? Yeah, I hope it's nothing serious. Her granddaughter's been having health problems. Well, let's get the show officially started, and hopefully Kathy pops in. Broadcasting live from station WDWL TV Studio 2A. It's me, the grumpy old man, brought to you by... I'm pointing with the wrong hand. Brought to you... I hate this camera. Take two. Brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow. Thank you very much. And your banner's straight. You're looking at the camera. Wonderful. She emailed you earlier, but nothing saying that she was going to be late. And then, when I go up to Mark's, I go bonkers by these assholes that leave their carts wedged in between the posts. They have, I think, six big posts, and they're just the width of a shopping cart. You get a shopping cart like 3/4 of the way because they don't want people taking the carts out into the parking lot. Well, people will wedge the carts in, load their groceries in the car, and leave. And then you would think that the people coming out the door with a cart would move that cart out. No, then they wedge their cart into that cart, and then, and so on. So, as I'm coming in the store, there's this fat bitch loading her groceries, and I'm moving the carts out of the way. And as she was taking her bags out of the cart, I said, talk about inconsiderate people. Look, I even said to her, look, only takes a second to move the cart. I no sooner turned around, she jumps in the goddamn car and leaves the cart there. People are just so fucking inconsiderate today. I'm glad I grew up in an era where there was respect and politeness. Like I said, my grandfather always wore a fedora, and he would always tip his hat to a lady walk by, or he'd grab a door and hold it for her. I always, that gave me a good feeling. Although it was a different era. Now, it's sad. Men have no respect for women. I rarely see a guy hold the door or step aside and let a lady go in first. I do. I always use the line my grandfather used to use. Because, I'll open the door and the lady will go, well, go ahead. And I go, no, ma'am, the rose before the thorn. And then they stop and they think, oh, that's cute. I still I'll hold it, open the door for a woman, no matter what age. And, the younger gen, they look at you like, are you a doorman? You the greeter? I remember back in the day, if I didn't open the door for my girlfriends, they would stand there outside the car. I'd get in and I'd go like, whoops, get out, open the door. Not today. I even asked, the two cutie cashiers that I kibitz with. I asked them, did your boyfriend open the car door for you? And they look at you like, what? The one said to me, oh, I know how to open a car door. No, that's not the point. Chivalry is dead. It's so sad. And it's getting worse. And it starts with Mr. Big Hair. I was reading a little news quip on a Japanese news website. And that prime minister is still pissed that Mr. Big Hair put his arm around her and pulled her up right against him when, we have a wonderful working relationship here. Her eyes were like two saucers. Matter of fact, she kind of froze, like, is he doing what I think he's doing? People don't really believe it, but, Japan, they still, you know, they go by tradition that goes back hundreds of years. That's the way it's looking. I'll give her a couple more minutes. Because it's got to be something important because she's always here. Like I said, I hope nobody in the family is ill. Her granddaughter or her daughter, or maybe she did some last minute grocery shopping and got tied up in traffic. Although she lives out in the boondocks, probably sees a car every 3 hours. Kids, look, there's a car coming down the street. Did you get a picture? Man, it's been 5 hours since we had a car come down the road. And then Talk about screwing yourself up, Ron. I wasn't paying attention. I had stopped to try to get a key cut for my Passat, and I wasn't paying attention to the curb, and I went to step up, and I stubbed my toe, and of course it has to be the one on the right foot, and I'm like, oh God. So it's been really killing me all day. And then the guy at the key shop says, oh, we don't do automotive keys anymore. I was like, well, why don't you put it on your website? Yeah, they don't cut automotive keys anymore. He said the equipment's too expensive. Because I've got that goofy flat key. And then they have to program it. He goes, no, we don't bother with them anymore. I was like, oh, wonderful. I drove down here, get out of the car, stub my toe for this. So I got to call the key shop in Lakewood. According to their website, they cut any car key up to 2025. So I hope I can get this stupid thing, because I don't like having just one key. Especially the way this stupid thing is. This is the one I got to get cut. Come on, get out of the package. It's a remote and key all in one. I like it. It's like a switchblade. You push the button. Got you with my switchblade key. But the stupid thing is flat. And all it has like a little squiggle in it that they cut. But they have to program the remote so that the key works and the remote works. So I can, lock and unlock the doors and hit the panic button. Probably cost me more to get the damn key cut than the goddamn key fob. Oh, I whacked it good too. Oh God, I was almost in tears. Of all toes, But I wasn't paying attention. I was in a hurry to get out of the street. I walked around the car. The curb was, a half an inch higher than what I thought. Whack! Oh, oh, oh. You should have heard the language that came out of me. Yeah. No. Damn. Got a vulture in my throat.
Holy Christ.
Wow. And, you know, had I had hard shoes like I used to wear, I used to get those Timberlands. I can't wear them because of that damn toe. I miss those. They were great in the winter. Well, gift number one, this really nice organizer tool bag, which I've started putting tools in. And gift number two here. Come on, unsnap. Don't give me a hard time. Is a nice organizer that hangs on the back of one of the front seats. And it's got all these zippered pockets for tools and what have you. I like that. Mainly because it'll roll up. You could roll it up like a duffel bag. Have a nice little carry pouch, and then you unroll it, or it hangs on the back of the seat. Which I really like that idea. Because it's got multiple size pouches. You know, like one pouch is made for screwdrivers, and another pouch is made strictly like for pliers. And I like to carry tools because you never know. And this strange box that came, I guess we'll open it and see what's inside of it. Where's my knife? Okay. Yep, come on, knife. Where's the center? Where's the center? Aha! We got it open. Ron got me some crinkled brown paper. Oh, a baggie. A baggie. Let's see what the card says. Happy birthday, Grumpy, from Runbozoid. Okay, let's open the baggie. Oh, I hate to screw up the ribbon. That's a... can I I slide the ribbon off, maybe? No. Okay, I have to untie the ribbon. Double knotted on top of it. Jesus. Okay, let's see what's inside the baggie. More crinkled paper. Black crinkled paper. Oh, there's something in the bottom. What do we have here? Something in the bottom, sealed up. Sealed up. Okay, where's the... How do you get into this thing? Oh, there we go. Never mind. A keychain with a vulture head. Holy shit. A keychain with a frickin' vulture head. Is that not cool? Oh, I'll put that right on my facade key. Oh, that is neat. Where the hell did you ever find that, Ron? God damn, look at that goddamn beak on that. It looks just like you. Yeah. Straighten your banner. Wow, is that neat? That's going to go right on my facade key. Another thing I will immediately use, like the lighter. I'm using the shit out of that lighter. I like the baggie, too. Oh, I'll make use of this. I'll put something in there. There'll be something in the Passat that will need to go in this baggie. I like the baggie. There's an envelope in the bottom. Oh, that must be the one with the $1,000 bills. Coupons. Scan the QR code to learn more about your gift. I will do so. I will be scanning the QR code. Thank you, buddy. Two neat items. Well, the shirt too. Matter of fact, it's in the laundry. I spilled coffee on it the other day. But I immediately took the shirt off, went over to the sink, laundry detergent, yeah, I forgot where my mouth was. Yeah, I like this baggie. Something in the Passat will go in this baggie. I will be making use of it. I like that little baggie. You find the coolest shit, Ron. I'll tell you. You kind of think like I do. Yeah, we can throw the box away. We don't need the box. Oh, that keychain is cool. I love it. Man, and I'll tell you the detail on it. Man, unbelievable. That is cool. A Bravo keychain made in USA. That's even better right there. That makes it the best part right there where it says made in, we finally got something made in America. BravoBills.net. I guess I'll have to check that out, that website. Oh, that's cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love the little baggie, too. Something, but, oh, my spare light bulbs. Yeah, this would be great. Because right now I just have them in a bubble wrap bag. Then I could put them in here and extra protect them. Good, I already figured out a use for the baggie. Cool, Ron. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. I had no idea they made vulture stuff. That is the cat's ass, man. The detail is unbelievable on that thing. For such a small item, boy, somebody with with a Dremel tool and a die really cut that die out so that when they cast that, the detail was unbelievable. That was an artisan that cast that die. This ain't no CNC machine shit. Somebody actually had a die, a mold, and took a Dremel or something and cut in the detail so that when they cast it, unbelievable. Wow. That is cool. I think temporarily, no, I was going to hang it. These should have been reversed. That's all right. I'm going to keep it on the desk and stare at it. No, I'm not staring at you. I'm staring at the keychain, asshole. This is better than, got more detail than your head. How the hell did you ever find that? Yeah, I'm like a little kid. Throw away the gift and keep the bag it came in. Like my cat. I ordered stuff from Chewy. And I got him some cat toys. So I put the box on the floor and I put the cat toys up on the bed in front of him. What does the asshole do? Jumps off the bed into the box. I'm like, hey, I got you these cat toys. He's like, yeah, but you got me a box. No, I didn't get you a box. I got your cat toys. Yeah, I put the cat toys out in front of him. He looked at them, looked over the edge of the bed and went, oh, a box. Jumped down in the box, laid down. I'm like, you bastard. Yeah, I got him some fish. Catnip fish. I got a goldfish and let's see, I got a goldfish and a tuna, and the third was a sea bass. And they're catnip toys. They're good size. I mean, he looked at them. He looked over the edge of the bed and went, "Oh, you got me a box." Oh, I already got. I got them from Staples. They're clear pouches with zippers, and they fit perfect in my door pouch. And I got my registration, my insurance, a copy of the title to the car, my Allstate Motor Club information, and what else is in there? Oh, emergency numbers like my sister, work, home, cell phone. Yeah, I got. It was a 3-pack. So one in the Passat, one in the shit box, and hopefully one for a Corvette one day. Yeah, they were like 3 for $5 or something, but they're about the length of a business envelope and like 1.5 times the height, and they got a real nice tight sealing zipper that makes it waterproof. And they're right there in the door pouch. That way, if I get pulled over here, will you take them out of the pouch, sir? Oh, now you want them out of the pouch. Yeah, I've got emergency contact information, doctors, my primary care doctor, my oncologist, my pain management doctor, my blood type, medications. I typed it all up, print it out. That way, if something would happen and I would be, unconscious, hopefully they would think to look in the door and go, "Oh, look, doctor, contacts, medication, blood type." I should, next time I go to Staples, they have different stickers. I'm going to get some that they're red and white. They say emergency. And put the stickers on them. That way they look in the door and go, "Oh, emergency." Although I've got all that shit in my wallet too. And I never leave the house without my wallet. Never. I did it once. I felt undressed. I was like, whoa. Like, I forgot to put my pants on. Where's my wallet? Bro. Because usually, like at night, when I get ready for bed, I take all the change out of my pocket, and I have a little container on my dresser for the change. And then I take my wallet, and I got a neat thing for my wallet. I stole it from a restaurant. It looks like a little tray. It says American Express on it. You're supposed to put your credit card on it, and the waitress picks up the little tray. When she wasn't looking, I stole it. So I take my wallet out and I put it in the little American Express credit card tray. And my keys are always hanging in the studio here on a key rack. And then I've got a round wire mesh pencil cup. I take my pens out of my pocket. Although I'll tell you, this is the coolest pen. It's a retractable fountain pen. A retractable fountain pen. It is cool. And it works like a charm. I love it. Matter of fact, one of the little cuties up at the store goes, "Boy, I'd like to have one of them." I says, "Oh, all right, I'll order you one." Thing was only like $3 on Temu. I ordered thinking, oh yeah, Chinese crap, retractable fountain pen. Works like a ballpoint. And it came with black, blue, green, yellow, and red ink cartridges. Because I do have some fancy. Are they here or are they in the bedroom? Yeah, they must be in the bedroom. Well, one of them's here. Oh, wait a minute. They are here. Yeah, I got the neat blue and gold. This one is just a matte silver. And then I have the fancy black and gold. Like going back to grade school when we had to write with fountain pens. I pulled this out one day and my buddy's wife was like, "What the hell are you writing with?" I said, "A fountain pen." And both her and her husband like, "Fountain pen?" I said, "Yeah. we had to write with them in grade school, although they're a lot neater. Back in grade school, you had to have the bottle of ink, and the pen had a little bladder in it, and it never failed. You spilled it all over the place. Oh! Oh, I just dropped the fountain pen. It went under the console. Yeah, I think they were like $4 a piece. No big, Grumpy's not big spender for fountain pens. But it does, I'll tell you what, every time I write with one of them, it brings back memories of grade school when we had to learn cursive with a fountain pen. Kids today, they don't even write no cursive in school. They don't teach it. I'm like, how the hell are you going to sign your name? X? Yeah, I asked my buddy's granddaughter. She's in third grade. I said, are you learning cursive? And she thought I asked her if she was learning how to curse. No. I said cursive, handwriting. No. No. You're in third grade, right? Yeah. Third grade, you learn cursive. No, we don't cuss. I said, you learn handwriting. No. My mommy's teaching me, but not at school. I'm like, we're raising a bunch of illiterate kids. Sign your name, X. You're junior. Okay, put a second X. That's what we're going to boil down to. X, X. The second. God, I remember when my son was learning cursive in school. They were still teaching it then. And I never liked junior. Mainly because, I got a buddy, he's 73 years old. Hey, junior, come here. So I gave him a Roman numeral. He's the second. He would sign his name, and then the Roman numeral would be like this big. He was so proud of that because he was the only kid in his class that was a Roman numeral. There were a lot of juniors, although I'll tell you what, it was, even today, Ron, he has a hell of a time with that Roman numeral. Like with his, he just signed it for some insurance. And it kept rejecting. He'd put in his name, address, rejected. And finally, he ended up calling whatever healthcare, and he said, I'm trying to submit my information and it keeps rejecting me. And the girl said, well, give me your information. And he said, I'm the second. Their computer system is not set up for Roman numerals. So they put it in as Junior. And it took. I told him, I said, there's no such person. There is no such person. Grumpy Junior. It's Grumpy II. There's no such person. Well, he said that's the only way I could get the information to take. I said, give me the phone number for that outfit. And I called and I said, do you realize there's no such person? She said, well, it's the same thing. I said, no, it is not. Junior is Junior. The second is the second. I said, if he has a son and wants to name him the third, I said, what would your computer take? Grumpy Junior Triple? I said, if he has to use his hospitalization, he's going to show his ID, his driver's license. Grumpy II. And then he's going to pull out his insurance card and it's going to say Junior. And the hospital is going to go, where's Junior? Well, to me. No, you're II. In this day and age, a computer system, like, I'm not the only person that ever put a Roman numeral on my kid's name. My buddy's son is the fourth. And he's hoping that he has a son one day so he can make him V, the fifth. Yeah, I told the girl, I said, you've got to get with your IT department. They have to do something about this because there is no, he's not Junior. That's like a lot of times I'll get shit that'll say Senior. I'm not Senior. I'm not Senior. I'm Grumpy. And then Grumpy II. What am I missing in the chat? What am I missing in the chat there, Linda? I wish I could roll it back. Good to see ya. Or are you referring to somebody else with that? I'm confused with that comment. And at this age, it don't take much to confuse me, you know. Next year I'll be 3/4 of a century. That's scary. How old are you? 3/4 of a century. Whoa, you're old. Thanks, Linda. Ron got me a really cool vulture keychain, and the detail on this thing is unbelievable. It is cool. A vulture head that's got more detail than that asshole over there. I can't wait to put that on my keys. Well, that's okay. I'm glad to see you. I thought maybe, you know, you gave up on the grumpy old man and went over to the Pirates Cove. Which, hey, if the Pirates Cove is more interesting over there, I'd go over there myself. Problem is, I have to do a show. That's what we're wondering, Linda. Usually Kathy is right on the dot. I'm hoping that there's no family emergency or something. Because even if she was on the phone, she would pop in and say, "Hey, I'm on the phone." Haven't heard a word from her. I'm kind of getting worried. That's not like Kathy not to be here. And I'm hoping it's not like, you know, one of her daughters or her grandkids. You know, that one granddaughter has been fighting a goddamn infection for like ever. Oh, hey, if you got to take care of something, Linda, go right ahead. I just appreciate you popping in and giving me birthday greetings. It means a lot. I told Ron I had a shitload of phone calls all day from all over the United States. A lot of my old classmates I graduated high school with. I was like, God damn, they remembered my birthday. I feel bad because I can't remember any of theirs. And I'm going to lunch next week with my buddy and his wife. And I don't know how many times she's told me when their birthdays are, and I can't. I know her birthday is sometime in January. So the first week of January, I send a birthday card. And then she'll always tell me, "Oh, you send it early." Yeah. I don't have the guts to say, "Yeah, I can never remember your birthday." At least I got the month. Same thing with her husband. His birthday is in September. Then I'm November, and then she's January. I always joke with him and said, "Oh, you married a younger woman." Well, don't feel bad, Linda. My kid lives upstairs and he don't even fucking talk to me. He walks by. I keep reminding him it's a little hard to apologize when I'm taking a dirt nap. He hasn't talked to me in ages. Living in my goddamn house for free, sucking up electricity, heat, water. Hasn't worked in 2 years. I said, boy, he's in for a rude awakening if something happens to me. Because my landlord will throw him right out on the street. Dad's taking a dirt nap. Get the fuck out. Actually, I won't be taking a dirt nap. I'll be laying in a cold room at Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science. And when they're done carving me up, then they'll stick me in an oven and send my kid a urn. Here's Dad. Yeah, I showed my doctors all the paperwork. I went, look. They were like, what? I said, well, how did you learn to be a doctor? You had to work on a cadaver. Where do you think them cadavers came from? Cadavers are up, you know. Hello, cadavers are us. Yeah, can you ship 2 or 3 over here? Yeah, no problem. Charlie, open the freezer. We got an order for 3. Big sticker across your forehead. Cadavers are us. Hey, I won't know that they're carving me up. The one nice thing is they are ultra respectful. They actually, and I had to write information about myself, you know, my hobbies, what I did for a living, and then a picture. And send a picture. A selfie. And they post this on like a little billboard over the table. And they basically, the students form a personal bond with the cadaver. Yeah, oh, this is Grumpy. Yeah, he liked working on cars. He had a Passat, and he did a YouTube channel. And see, everybody got, whoop, hold on, pull out your cell phone. Oh, look. He looks a little better when he was breathing, but otherwise, can you pull a little color in him? A little makeup. Yeah, well, it's sadly he's my only. I mean, to think, the shit that I did for him all these years, and then like it's my fault he lost his job. Well, gee, first of all, a starting time is not a suggestion. Second of all, when you're supposed to be delivering packages, you're not supposed to be garbage picking and putting the shit in the truck. And then he wonders why they went, oh, we don't need you anymore. Have a nice day. I mean, he did come home with some neat shit, though. His Amazon route was like Millionaire's Row in Amish country, like the Yoders. Like you see, Yoder Dairy, but they weren't like true Amish in $1 million house. They threw out a perfectly good working pressure washer, a Ryobi, top of the line. It was sitting on the curb. My kid delivered a package. He goes, "What's wrong with that pressure washer?" We don't want it anymore. Well, what's wrong with it? Nothing. We just don't want it anymore. He loads it in the truck. Yeah, Ron and I were chatting about that at the beginning of the show. This younger generation, they just don't give a shit. A perfect example is his kid. You know, you can't get it through to them that, it's a little hard to make amends when, you're taking a dirt nap. Headstones don't talk back. But they don't care. I think they were Mennonites because they had like electricity and cars. The Amish are the ones with the Mennonites are a little different. But I mean, $1 million row, houses, big swimming pools, fountains. Take a perfectly good pressure washer, top of the line, push it to the curb. We don't want this thing anymore. I use the hell out of it. It's great for washing the car, especially since I bought that. They call it a foam cannon. Man, that is cool. Stand by the car, turn the foam cannon on, covered in white bubbles. I wouldn't doubt it, Ron. They probably they probably had like a little solar charger and a line going down into the casket to charge a cell phone. Christ, look at that. What the hell's that robot? Cosmo or something? That goddamn thing is more human than human. Oh, my favorite website, Temu.com. I just, matter of fact, they arrived today, a set of floor mats for the Passat that are an identical match to the seat covers that I got off of Temu. Nothing like having floor mats to match the seat covers. Right there. There isn't a place in this house that you can't see something that came from Temu. Talk about addicted to a website. Holy shit. Although, wait a minute. Hang on. I got these neat wrenches. Come on. I screwed the zipper up. Why don't this want to open? There. I got these neat wrenches off of Temu. They're metric, but the neat thing is they go over a long bolt. You know, when you can't get in there with an open end, you can drop this down and it goes, the long bolt goes up through the middle of it. I thought these were so cool. Yeah. Metric with a hole in it so that you can go down over, like where you can't get in with an open end. You can take this and mainly because I have to buy a whole bunch of metric shit for that Volkswagen. Yeah, I think they're, what have I got? 8, 10, no, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16 millimeter. $8 for the set. And I was like, oh, these are going to be cheap crap. They're actually well constructed. I'm impressed with them. And then this costs me a little bit more. I got this neat player set with all different open end, diagonal cut in a neat case. I think these were $15. I'm getting a neat tool collection all set for the Passat. Then my buddy sent me this neat tool bag to organize things in. Yeah, as OCD as I am, I want everything organized in the car. Well, it's getting harder and harder and harder to find made in USA stuff, Linda. It's sad. 90% of our tools are made in China. Craftsman. Craftsman used to be one of the best American made tools out there. Sears sold it to some Chinese company. I think the only tools that are still made here is like Snap-on, Matco. Uh, what the hell's the other one? Those are the ones with the tool trucks that come around. Snap-on, Matco, Cornwell. I think those are the only three that are made here. Otherwise, companies got greedy. It's, offshore it where it would cost, $30 an hour per employee. Let's offshore it for an employee that'll work for $5 an hour. We'll keep the price up there and look at the profit we're making. Matter of fact, on a lot of Craftsman tools, they don't come with the lifetime warranty anymore. Like screwdrivers, you can't get if you break a screwdriver, you're screwed. You got to buy another one. I went through hell when I broke a socket, and the goddamn store manager said, "Oh, you abused it." I said, "Abused it? Look how chintzy the goddamn thing is." Oh, okay, here. That's right, my keychain got the American flag on it. Made in America. Made in USA. Right there. Kind of an insult to put it on a key ring for a German car. But, oh, I read an article today that amazed me. You know the Toyota Tundra plant down in, I think it's Denton, Texas. I think it's Denton. I'm not pot. Don't quote me. A truck rolls off the assembly line every 67 seconds, not minutes. Every 67 seconds, out the door, out the door. Unbelievable. And who's kicking ass right now? Harbor Freight with their Icon line and a couple of they want lifetime warranty like Craftsman used to. Harbor Freight is kicking ass. There's a friend of mine. He bought an impact gun, and it went bad. And he walked in the store. He said to the girl, he goes, She goes, you got your receipt? He goes, yeah. She goes, hold on. She goes back. Here you go. Brand new one in a box. Have a nice day. Matter of fact, there's a YouTube channel, Bus Monkey Garage. Yeah, Bus Monkey Garage. He buys almost all of his tools from Harbor Freight. And he raves about them because they take such good care of him. And it's not because he's got a big service garage. It's that they stand behind their tools now like craftsmen used to. I've been slowly buying new tools that I need from Harbor Freight for the warranty. Not that, I'm using them every day, but like with that socket, it was a 19 millimeter, and it was for for a couple of bolts on my steering assembly on the shitbox. And I went to tighten the one bolt up because it was loose. And I got it tight, and I, give it that extra oomph, and snap, the goddamn socket broke in half. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Craftsman. Then I went back to Ace Hardware because they carry Craftsman. I was like, socket. The guy went, you abused it. I came apart on him. It's under warranty. Although I do have a very nice limited edition Craftsman three drawer toolbox. I've had it for years. God, I bought it back in the '80s. It was some limited edition anniversary because it's gray. It's not red like Craftsman toolboxes. And I'll tell you what, to this day, the drawers slide real nice. But that was also before the shit was made in China. You buy a Craftsman toolbox today, it don't have those nice roller slides on the drawers. They glide right out because it was made in USA. Now their goddamn toolboxes are made in China. If you want a quality toolbox, you buy Snap-on. And then you finance it for 72 months. God, the toolbox. This thing is huge. My brother-in-law bought, oh God, it's got a closet on one side. It's got a flat screen TV, a stereo built into it, all kinds of LED lighting. This thing is like, it got to be 12 foot long and 7 foot high. It's got a closet. You hang your clothes. It's got a flat screen TV, a stereo, mood lighting, and a tool. Well, a tool wall, a rolling tool wall. $40,000. 40 grand for a, well, Christ, the thing's got like 400 drawers in it. 40 grand. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But it's like 8 toolboxes in one. Matter of fact, when they delivered it, to tell you how heavy this son of a bitch is, in order to get it out of the tractor trailer, they had to call a towing company with a rotator to pick this thing out and set it on the ground. But like I say, it's like goddamn 12 foot long, maybe 15. It's like a whole wall. As a matter of fact, in order for him to see in the top drawer, he has to get up on a step stool. But it's got, like I said, it's got a closet. Oh, it's got a refrigerator too. It's got a fucking refrigerator, a flat screen TV, a stereo. This is like a toolbox slash entertainment center with a refrigerator. $40,000. Sign the loan papers. Here's your payment book. Okay. Christ, I was bitching when I bought that toolbox from Sears and paid $75 for it. $40,000 for a toolbox. Well, you can't call it a toolbox. Yeah, I'll never forget the first time I saw it. He gave me a tour from one end to the other. Here's a closet. A closet. Well, yeah, you got to hang your work uniform somewhere. Okay. And here's the refrigerator. Wait a minute. Closet, refrigerator. Are you showing me a toolbox? Well, yeah, we'll get to that. And then there were some tool cabinets and drawers and then he pulls up the center section and there's a flat screen TV. A 35-inch flat screen TV. And stereo speakers. I was like, what? And he goes, oh, wait, it's got mood lighting. Mood lighting? Well, yeah, you got white, and then you got red, green, blue, and and this is a tool thing. $40 grand. mood lighting, refrigerator, flat screen TV. He says, well, you got to be entertained when you work. Now, the flat screen is supposed to be for you to plug your diagnostic computer in. And it shows up on the, so you're not looking at that little screen. But if you hook it to cable, you could watch the football game while you're working on a car. Yeah, it's got input on the back for cable, satellite. Goddamn toolbox costs more than his truck. But Snap-on, made in America. Matco, made in America. Cornwell, made in America. Craftsman, made in China. That is, that is the biggest insult to the Sears what would you call it? The Sears reputation. Sears prided themselves on that line of tools because at the time they were the only tool seller that gave you a lifetime, no questions asked warranty. That was their legacy. Craftsman. And then when Sears went bankrupt, a Chinese company bought Craftsman tools. And destroyed them. Cheapened them. If you take an old Craftsman screwdriver and you take a new Craftsman screwdriver, the old handle was bright blue, bright red, and clear, so it was red, white, and blue. Now the colors are so fucking washed out. What are you putting the soft ice cream in your slippers, Ron? Is that what you're doing? Well, that's one way to chill your feet, I guess. Good way to screw up a good pair of slippers. I couldn't see putting ice cream in my mini Tonkas, which I'm wearing right now. Oh, the toe feels so comfortable in the mini Tonkas. I'll be afraid to look at it in the morning. It's probably going to be all black and blue. Because I nailed it good on that curb. Oh, I almost cried. I come limping into the key shop. Can I help you? Yeah. Well, we don't cut them anymore. You what? No, we don't do car keys. Well, I'm glad that you put that on your website. Drive all the way down there. Can't get a key cut. We only do door locks and safes and The guy says, do you need a key cut for a master lock? No, I need a key cut for a Volkswagen Passat. We don't do them. Yeah, gee. Mark's carries that really great tasting mint chocolate chip, and I forgot to even walk past the ice cream cooler. Damn it. Yeah, it's homemade brand. That's what the name is, homemade. Outstanding mint chocolate chip. But boy, I'll tell you what. Goddamn ice cream for a pint. $4 and some. I looked at that and I went, I'm not buying stock in the company. I guess I'm going to have to email Kathy in the morning and find out if everything's okay. Boy, it's not like her not to show up at all. Well, that's really odd. Because even if she was doing something, she would, pop in and go, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. Haven't heard a word from her. And I wanted to show her all my birthday gifts. Like my Made in America keychain. Made by, let's hope they were made by Americans. Let's hope they didn't hire any illegal aliens. Like that idiot down in Florida that decided to hang a U-turn in the middle of the frickin' freeway and killed 3 people. No speak of the English. Big, huge sign. No U-turn. Big sign. Yeah, he was in that police turnaround. Big sign. No U-turn. He didn't even look. He just cranked it. That trailer got sideways on the freeway and a van couldn't stop. Bang! Went under the trailer, killed all 3 people, and he couldn't read English, he couldn't write English, he couldn't hardly speak it. Well, that's like when I go on eBay, Linda, to buy my car parts. I research because I want my car parts made in the USA, not China. I was telling Ron and Kathy last night or the night before when I needed a flywheel for my Ford Ranger. I went to Advanced Auto Parts. I said, I need a flywheel. Girl brings it out, puts it on the counter. I opened the box, and in the middle of the flywheel, it says in big letters, Made in China. I closed the box and pushed it back across the counter, and I said, see ya, I don't want it. Then she was like, I carried that heavy thing out here. Well, you can carry the heavy thing back. I ain't buying it. Last thing I want is some goddamn cheap casting, goddamn Chinese flywheel in my truck. I found some company down south, Georgia, Louisiana, some flywheels made in USA. And then there was another company somewhere down south, North South Carolina, something like that. I got the clutch from, made in USA. Matter of fact, they made them to order. I said, I want a competition clutch. And the guy went, in a Ford Ranger. I said, yeah. He said, okay, your leg, not mine. Man, you talk about a clutch that was stiff. Holy Christ. It was made for rock climbing. The guy said, are you going to be rock climbing? I said, no. He says, well, that's what this clutch is for. You're going to put it in a daily driver? I said, yeah. He goes, it's your leg. I was like, what is my leg? Then I put the clutch in the truck and took it for a test drive. I'm like, oh. And then the motor let go. 6 months after I put the clutch in. And I wasn't about to do a motor swap. Too hard nowadays. I like the days when I had my MG midget. The motor in that car looked about the size of a lunchbox. I unbolted it, carried it down the basement, and rebuilt it in the basement over the winter. Then in the spring, I carried it back upstairs and put it in the car. God, I miss that little car. Thing was about the size of a casket. MG midget. You know, it's funny when you think back. You know, in the 50s and the 60s, when all these small British cars were being imported in the United States. And everybody said, oh, Americans will never drive a small car. Have you taken a look at a Chevy Spark? It's about the size of a lunchbox. Thing's about this big. I don't know how they can get 4 people in that little shit box. It's ridiculous. And they say, oh, Americans will never drive little cars. Eh. It's like my buddy's got a Ford EcoSport. My shitbox is bigger than his EcoSport. It's a little dinky thing. I don't know how he gets in and out of it. He's 300 pounds. I don't know how he gets in and out of that car. With shoehorn, I guess. although his next door neighbor has one of them. Oh God, what is it? Is it a Hyundai? The Santa Cruz. It's a little pickup. That is the coolest looking little truck. I'd love to have one. Yeah, it's a Santa Cruz. Jet black. Oh, it's gorgeous. Well, peoples, I think it's about that time. I have another gourmet Italian sausage sandwich waiting for me tonight, with about 5 pounds of onions and peppers on it. We know where, right here, WDWL TV. All right, everybody, thanks for being here. Linda, thanks for popping in on my birthday. I appreciate it. And Ron, this is going on the keychain first thing in the morning, buddy. I'm going to use the hell out of this like that Zippo lighter. I really appreciate it. You come up with the neatest gifts. All right, we will meet again tomorrow night. Everybody, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. See ya.